Marcus Kolga is a senior fellow at the Macdonald Laurier Institute in Ottawa. He joins you right now because he is an expert on a number of things that are going on in Europe. One of the things I want to put to you, Marcus, you see it in the back pages of some of the international papers, of the fact that the Russian soldiers are raping Ukrainian women. Not just Ukrainian women. One I heard of it was a 4-year-old Ukrainian girl. And the Russian soldiers are being encouraged to do this. And it just seems to me that no one around the world is doing squat about it. First of all, is it true that that is happening?
It is true that this is happening. The United Nations, there was an independent investigation that was being run there throughout the summer for atrocities committed by the Russian forces in Ukraine. Their findings were that children, not just girls, boys as well, as young as 4, and older women up until the age of 80 were being systematically raped by Russian soldiers in places like Bucha and other towns and villages that the Russian forces occupied in the spring.
That's being encouraged by the Russian authorities. That's not just some wayward Russian soldier, having his way. That is a strategy that they're encouraging. Is that correct?
Well, it sounds like it. Vladimir Putin actually gave state medals, awards, to those troops that were involved in these atrocities. So yeah, I mean, not only is it being encouraged, it's being rewarded.
Okay, so I understand it's a very complicated war, and I understand that the West doesn't want it to be escalated, and nuclear weapons and stuff like that. But why isn't the West, why aren't the women of the West outraged? Why do we not have women, going after Russian authorities and going after Russian institutions around the world and saying, this has got to stop?
Well, I think you do have women in Europe that are saying these sorts of things, especially and I think their actions are also, I think they are putting actions to their words. The Prime Minister of Estonia, Kaja Kallas, Sanna Marin, the Prime Minister of Finland. These are very strong women who are leading the charge in advocating for the Western world to send more weapons so that the Ukrainians can defend their people, their women, their children against these sorts of atrocities. It's those women that are leading the way. It's certainly not the men like Emmanuel Macron, who would much rather sit behind a table with Vladimir Putin and discuss a way out of this.
Let's talk about women in this great democracy of the United States and Canada and why they aren't doing more, because they always seem, so many of them are so offended by the smallest thing. This is one of the worst things ever.
Well, sure, I think Canada could be doing a heck of a lot more given our feminist foreign policy that we're supposed to have. This is exactly the place where we need to make our voices heard and take the lead on advocating against these sorts of Russian atrocities.
And you made your voice heard today. Thank you, Marcus Kolga. Thank you very much. 3 minutes. A number of people tell me I am no longer a liberal. I am a liberal. And this station is not about liberal or conservative politics, nor about left or right politics. It is about efficient government and honest government and getting the best way to help people in Canada. That is why we are not paid by the government, and that is why we're looking for your support. Press subscribe, and if you can make a donation, we appreciate it.